All right, what's going on? Happy Shop Day Wednesday. Very special day today. Not only because the F-150 is officially in the fleet and operational, and the Ridgeline is sitting over there, currently for sale, but forget about this. It's a whole other separate video. We got prezzies. From Putzmeister, Germany. I had a previous video where I showed you these cylindrical sponges which they'd sent us for the line pumps. Soft foam, rubberized foam, so it seals up real nice. You don't get air passing through them. They'd sent us these for the 3.5 and 4 inch line, 3-inch hose. Those would work for as well. And these guys here will work from anything from a 3-inch hose, but are ideal for 2.5 inch. And these are great for the 2-inch. Anyhow, here's our box from Putzmeister. This is an official unboxing. I have not opened this up. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Hopefully it's not like one of those exploding confetti type things. And you know what? Why don't we set the camera down here? Let's just get ourselves set up here. So they have sent us various sizes of cylindrical sponges. You know what? It'd be a real smart idea for me to get a tape measure here. So I'm going to do that. You got a tape measure?
Yeah. Did they send in you a bunch of testers?
Yeah, so these are... Oh, you know what? Okay, so these are 8-inch. These are going to be 7.5. And these are... Looks like 6.5. Here, I'll go like this. Like that, 6.5. So, got the camera here. The idea is there were a few guys that had reached out in the comments when they'd seen these cylindrical sponges for the line pumps when I was testing those, and they mentioned on their sanding machines and their Putzmeister machines outfitted with the harsh mix kit. The harsh mix kit, 5-inch deck pipe to here, and then it runs a 5-inch to 6-inch reducer up here, and then it runs 6-inch all the way up the side of the pump. So they're having issues with a regular 5-inch, say a 5-inch round ball sponge, not fully cleaning the 6-inch, the added length of 6-inch horizontal pipeline in the system. So the idea with these larger sponges is, because they are a soft foam, and I think that maybe this, what size was it? Maybe the 7. I think the 7 is probably going to be the hot ticket. You know what? That's actually 6. Is it 7? I can't tell if it's 7 or 6.5 inch. Anyhow, the mid size of what they sent me, I think, is going to be the 1. See here? Because it should squeeze down nice enough to fit through a 5. This is a 5-inch metric elbow. All right. Oh yeah. So if you squeeze that down, that's going to pull back real nice because it's a soft foam. And theoretically, give me my sponge back. Theoretically, it will be large enough and expand out enough that it will also wipe this larger 6-inch diameter pipeline clean all the way back to the hopper. And even with our newer big booms, even though they do not have the harsh mix kit, I know that Mike is a big fan of a 6-inch soft sponge, round soft sponge is what he pulls on the second round. A little bit of wiping action. So I'd imagine these cylinders are going to be similar, yet even better. So that's pretty slick. I wonder, even for like high-rise placing boom, as long as you're not going to lose them, as long as you can recover them, these could be real nice. So maybe we'll head out to one of Dan's sites and we'll test one on Dan's placing boom setup. But I think that is going to work really well for the harsh mix back ends. And then let's just open up one of the okay, so that's a 6-inch. Yeah, I think what we've got here is 6, 7, and 8. All right. We all agree on that, right? We got 6-inch, 7-inch, and 8-inch. So I think that's pretty good. Guys that are running like the smaller diameter boom pipe, the 4.6-inch and 4.4-inch diameter boom pipe versus the 4.8-inch. Fun fact, metric boom pipe is actually 4.8-inch. It's not 5-inch diameter, so 4.8 is what this is. This would probably be the one they want to use, even for, I think, I like the added size of this, so I think this is going to be the one. We'll see when we use these. You know, sponges are over time, after a few usages, they tend to swell up a little bit and get a little bit bigger. So we'll see, maybe this will become the one, but we'll give that a try. The reason I wanted these, or was so hot on these cylindrical sponges with the soft rubber foam, is there it is. Let me climb up here. Yeah. So this is what's currently on the market, and in my opinion, they're just way too firm. It's that, right? Total pain in the butt to squeeze them into a 4.8-inch elbow. And I find because they're so large and a little bit firm, they'll hang up until you build up enough vacuum that they shoot ahead. So that's why I'm not a fan of these. This is a nice, soft, pliable foam, I think, for sucking back nice and slow. For those that use 2 sponges, on the second round, this is mint. Some guys like to pull just 1 sponge and they'll go real slow on the first round. I think it'll be great for that too. So anyhow, I'm gonna try it right now, and this is how I hope I end this video off. Mike's out right now pumping with the 56 meter, the new one. I'm gonna head on out with my fancy dancy sponges here, and we'll pull one of these back and we'll see how it works. And then we'll also we'll try one when we get the Sani out later this week. We'll try one on that, and then we'll head by and check in with our buddy Dan. I know Dan's away in Hawaii this week, but when Dan's back next week, maybe we'll take one of these for a little tour of one of his placing boom setups, and we'll give it a go. Like I said, big thanks Putzmeister Germany for sending these out. David over there at Putzmeister Germany. These are prototypes, and our mission here is to find out which ones are going to be the most useful, and which ones the market has the most demand for. So from what you guys see so far, which is very preliminary, what do you think? What do you want out there? I'm thinking these 2 sizes would be pretty good. The 8-inch here, I don't know, we'll give it a go. Maybe it squeezes in that elbow and it's like the most awesome thing ever. But I think the first one I'm going to try out is this the 7-inch sponge right here. We'll give this guy a try, and we'll see what we think. So stay tuned for that. Okay, here we go. Ready to be surprised? Yeah. So remember these stupid ones that are way too firm and they're an absolute bitch to get in the elbow, yeah, and they sit in the elbow and they rock it off and they still leave crap behind? So look what we got. We got 6-inch, we got 8-inch, and we've got 7-inch cylinders. Nice. So we're gonna put these to the test.
You feel nice?
Yeah, because they're softer, right? So I might gift one to you, just not yet. We're not ready yet. So, but you might get one if you play your cards right. Anyhow, for now they go back. I'm the traveling sponge salesman. This is like my briefcase.
So we're gonna run through those?
I don't know. I'm thinking
cylinder. We gotta do some testing.
We gotta do some testing. I think we gotta run one through and attach a GoPro to it, or we just run one through and then I'll get my bore scope camera and we'll shoot it up into the deck pipe. But I'm betting you could run one on the 38 and pull it real slow. The only problem is then you got to do a bunch of water in front of it, which I don't have a problem with. But you know, some guys how they worry about segregating by putting water in front of the sponge. You won't? Okay. No. So I think you're still going to have to do 2. But who knows? Maybe these work so awesome if you pull it really slow. Maybe it cleans the pipe out with a bunch of water in front of it.
Yeah. Okay. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Perfect. We made it to site. We did make it to site. Mike's just finishing off 300 meters in here today. 300 meter slab, last little bit to trickle in, a couple columns to pour, and then we'll pump out suction sponges back. That double-ended wire braided 5-inch hose has been mwah. Big thanks to the European fellas that were busting my nuts for the last 2 years, saying we had to get on that program, and now we have. And yeah, I really like having that short hose on there. Just so much easier for pumping out. If you catch any plugs or whatever, you just pinch the cuff off, break it at the clamp, and deal with it, right? So Mike is going to swing out here and pump back into the mixer because we got our full flex ISA short rig system on. We can swing over the short rig side and do this. We're not doing it off the back of the pump because there's obviously high voltage power lines in the way. And you can see here, this is our working range. It's the fully rigged side. This is the short rigged side. Okay, here we go. Because we got the power lines behind us, we're going to do the sponge clean out in front of the pump. We might do something a little bit different here today. Just wait for Mike to get his hopper doctored up and his lid down. This is also Mike's first time out with the Alliance anti-stick. First time. The privileged one.
Let's see.
You give her a spray, you give me a review.
I'd love it. Oh yeah.
What do you think? Peels right off, right?
I don't know about that. Look at that.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
Mike's pulling out all the stops after Dieter gave him a arguably low hopper review.
This could be a little straight. Oh, let's say a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Look at the remote though while we're here.
All right.
It's a little wet, but you know, I mean, come on, yeah. So we'll spray this off, drop the lid, pull some sponges. And because for the love of God, we are not going to cut my fancy new, straight from Germany, Putzmeister sponges. There we go. Okay, so we got the ones that we don't like, the ones that are way too hard.
Yeah.
And then we got the Putz ones. We got an 8-inch, a 7, and a 6. So my thought, well, let's take the 3 of them. Let's do a little trial run.
I think we should do this one for suckback first. And then
I think either one of these two first, because we'll pull it right through the hose.
yeah.
And then we follow it up with one of these two. Let's take all 3 over there. We'll have a little gander here. Normally we don't pull the sponge through the hose, but today because we can't swing the boom around the back of the hopper and there's nowhere to clean out back there, yada yada yada, we'll just pull a sponge through and then we don't have to rinse our hoses out. So
I think this is going to be too big to get through the sponge.
oh, that's not going to get through the hose. There's no way. The 6-inch will for sure. The 7 even might, because they're a really soft foam.
I'm thinking 7.
You want to put the 7 through the hose? Let's see how the fit is. I would go 6, because we want it to go nice and controlled through the hose, right? We don't want it to hang up and rock it back. And they don't need to be wet because they're rubberized foam. For everybody that says they're going to need to be wet or soapy, they don't. It's rubberized foam. It seals just fine. Au naturel. I'm just going to throw this in reverse.
Pull back.
There it goes. Mike pulls back in the Z, full volume on the first sponge, just get it home. Pump out in a Z, pull back in a Z, but to get the first sponge back, you gotta go full volume. Moving now. There it goes. First sponge is home. Bring the boom down, buck the hose off, throw in some water, and then we'll decide on whether we're going to do the 7-inch or the 8-inch next. I'd like to do the 8 if we can get it to fit. I think the bigger the better, right? I think because it's soft, it might. Yeah, normally if we weren't sucking 2 sponges back, I wouldn't, my preference is not to pull through the hose. But like I said, because we're going to do a second ball and a bunch of water, I'm not really too worried if that first sponge misses a little bit of stuff. The second sponge and all the water, it'll get it. So. And yeah, there's a million different ways to do this. 1 sponge, 2 sponge, no water in front of the sponge, water in front of the sponge, water, suck a bucket, blah, 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 blah. Whatever works for you. Just showing you how we do it. And like I said, Mike's pipes are always clean, and that's all that matters. Pipes are always clean and doesn't ever plug on the prime, so it's all that matters. And until that changes, keep doing it the way we're doing it. So the second sponge we can pull from back here. The first one we couldn't, just because of the position the boom would be in to avoid the high voltage wires. We'd have concrete falling back the wrong way. So but now that we're on to round 2 here and the boom's empty, we can drop down and get her done safely. Let's see how clean it got things where it went from the 4.5-inch hose to the 5-inch hose. Did it expand outwards enough to wipe this, or do you think it missed that area? Let's see. Especially in the bell reducer here, let's see how it did. How do we do? Oh wow. Fantastic.
Holy shit.
Right?
Actually did pretty well.
Well, that was the concept with going with softer foam and a larger sponge, so it's got more room to expand, right? Rather than denser material and a smaller sponge. Oh yeah. That looks great. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. Come down, and because we take this hose off anyhow, we'll knock it off and suck back through the elbow. If we were going to leave the stubby hose on, I would probably just load the hose with water and pull the sponge through the stubby hose. But like I said, we don't travel with this stuff, just the way that it doesn't light up with the cradles on the boom. For a little bit longer, it were to lay in the cradle, it would do that. But this one's just it's a little bit too short. So there you go. Pretty creamy on this end, right? Right, it got the first third of the hose really clean, and then this part's pretty creamy. So we'll still have to give that a rinse. I think if we were to put a larger sponge in through a 5-inch hose, we wouldn't have that. It's just because of the 5 to 4.5 stem reducer there. That's okay. Pull this off, bring the elbow down, load it with water, and rock and roll. Alright, load her up with water. Try the 8-inch. I think the 7-inch. I think the seven might be the one. Right? The 8's a little bit big.
He's getting stuck in each elbow. Yeah. Getting stuck in each elbow and then shooting back.
Yeah, the 7 will get a nice, more controlled pullback, right?
I like the 8 though. Like, I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
Being that big.
Well, probably your tight radius. You've got tight radius 90 elbows too, right?
Right, right at the first section. I bet it's gonna clean that. It's gonna clean that elbow really nice though.
Oh yeah.
I think it's back actually. That's back.
Yeah, because it seals so well that back elbow, it's going to give you the ka-thunk, right? Want me to pop it open and see while you're folding up?
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that. Okay, let's see what we got here. If we get suction here when we open this up, that's no good. That means the sponge is still up that way. If we don't have suction, that means it's right here, and our vacuum was between the this area and that side of the hopper, which is kind of what we want. That's what we got. When I popped that open, I heard the vacuum pull from there. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is clean. Wow. Okay. That's number 2.
Got all the water back.
Oh yeah, it was just sand. So yeah, like look at how clean your elbow is. But yeah, I don't think I would do that one again. I think the 7-inch is the one. The 8-inch is just a little, I don't know. I think it's a little bit on the big side. It's pretty damn clean. Yeah, I think as we use them, they're going to swell a bit too, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think the 8-inch is the one. I think the 6 and the 7 are the ones.
You want me to take that tomorrow and try them?
You can keep these. Yeah, so there you go. We'll keep testing these like it's real scientific, right? But yeah, I don't think the 8-inch is the one. I mean, we got it through. Mike's pump has some tight radius 90s on it, as many new pumps do. Maybe if you didn't have the tight radius 90s, it would be a little bit more compliant. But I think the 6-inch followed by the 7-inch, I think is going to be the answer. So anyhow, we'll get this cleaned up here, get packed up, hit the road. But yeah, definitely way better than the comparable that we had before. But you can't, they're too stiff. Try and get that into a 5-inch hose, right? So these things are way better. Like I said, we'll keep testing out. And the next one will be the Sani, which has the 6-inch piping all the way to the back. And you really need that bigger sponge to wipe it clean, so we'll try that. So it'll be the next test. Next video. Here it goes. Till next time, do this, do that, do a couple of those. If you like the video, do this. If you think the video is just a complete joke and water washing is the only way to go, give it one of those. If you like the channel, subscribe. The more the merrier. Christmas is coming. Canadian Concrete Pumper merch store just happens to have apparel that'll keep you warm for the Christmas season. Anyhow, catch you on the next one. All right, next day at the yard here. We're just doing some pipe maintenance. We're doing some pipe rotation on Mike's pump here. And guys wondering how clean did that sponge get these pipes? Well, look at this. Absolutely spotless. Nothing, nada. So yeah, I would say they worked pretty dang well. And what we also discovered is Mike pulled back an 8-inch sponge. We actually have a 7.5-inch size in the kit as well. And I think the 7.5 might be the one we go with. The 8 was a little tight because, like I said, this pump has a couple of where are they here? It's a couple tight radius 90-degree elbows. Right. These guys right here. It got a little hung up in those, so the 7.5 might be the one. But based on cleanliness, who knows? Maybe it's the 8. Either way, it did a beautiful job.